Welcome to the Crossline Podcast. My name is Carlos Smith, and I have some special guests with me today. We're doing something very special down here in Union County, and I'm right now with the man who kind of helped start this whole thing, Mr. TJ Booker. How you doing?
I'm doing fine today. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Let me first off start by saying that I really appreciate what you and everybody else is doing by, trying to give the kid something to do. But first, I think it's important for people to know, like, since you are the one who kind of helped start this whole thing, that I feel like it's important for them to kind of know who you are. So tell people, now you are a barber, so can you tell people how you kind of got into your career?
It's funny how I got in my career, but yeah, I'm a barber and I've been cutting hair since I was probably 13 years old. And just didn't start off as being a barber. I actually was working in a department for military, and they shut down due to the trade agreement, and it just kind of pushed me into being a full-time barber that way.
So what was you that made you feel like, okay, after a while, this was something you really loved doing? When did you figure out that you finally really loved being a barber?
When I found out I really loved being a barber when I saw the people actually allow me to get close in that personal space. You know, when you a barber, you touch me in a physical way, but it's non-physical, but you actually sit in somebody's chair and you actually allow them to put their hand on your body, and you can't even walk up to people randomly and get that close, but you get personal. And when I realized how connected to people you can become, it just something that struck an interest in me, and it made me kind of like realize that, hey, I'm actually in this person's personal space, and we become close. You know, it's hard to hate up close. You know, you got people in this time that we're living in now, people to the point where they like this, this political party, or they like this political party, and then they start hating these people because they go against that party. Right. But once you get up close to somebody, it's hard to hate. You know, and it's like being a barber. That's where I got that from. When you get to know people, you might see a guy you never met him before in your life, but if he's sitting in your chair, you get close, and then you get to know him.
Absolutely. And in the African American community, a black barbershop it holds a special meaning to you. Growing up, with some of those conversations that you have in a barbershop, it's kind of sacred. And you, as a kid, you hear a lot of stuff. Whether it's filtered or not filtered. You hear a lot of things growing up. But what does the black barbershop mean to you?
See, a barbershop is a place where men could get together and sit around and talk. And we got the stigma of just being gospel. But we're not so much in my shop. And so that we don't gossip. I don't allow we don't gossip. If in my barbershop, if it's not something good, it get pushed out my door. My barbershop is to the point where one guy came in and he said, he asked other people, he said, where's a good, clean barbershop I can go? Because like you said, some of the conversations can get dirty.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to mine, we cut that. So the community, as a barber, the community looks at you as a fashion designer. You got to keep up with all the trends. You're a trendsetter. Somebody come in, they tell you they want this haircut, you make that style. And after you make that style, it goes to other people and they want that same style. So the barbershop is actually a pillar of the community.
What's the biggest thing that you had to learn being a barber?
How to keep secrets. Because like I said, when you get that up close and personal to somebody, they tell you things, what's on their mind and on their chest. So one of the biggest things is to be an ear, but also be able to give advice. But I can't talk to one man and then go tell somebody else what to say, because it's gonna get back that I said. So being personal and keeping personal relationships personal.
When I growing up, the first time I kind of met you was through Modest King Barbershop. Was that the first time that you actually started a barbershop? Who was the first person to actually open the doors and let you cut hair?
First I started off working at another barbershop, and that barber who had the shop was getting his training license, but he wasn't able to complete it at that time. So Martis Keenan, I asked him, I saw him one day, he said, I heard you cut a lot of hair. I said, yeah, I do. He said, well, if you ever need your license, come see me. And so I went to him and I trained up under him and got my own license. So
How did you balance, being a father and a husband and of course brother? How did you balance? Was it hard for you to balance becoming a barber?
no, barber, you are able to multitask. And being a father is first of all the most important, because being a father, not only a father but a husband. I have a beautiful wife at home, and she allows me to do all the things that I put my hand in. So it's a support that I get from Anastasia, my wife. Oh man, she let me do my thing. Even sometimes when she let what she got going on go to the back burner, just kind of help me, because I believe to whom much is given, much is required. You heard that, and what I mean by that, I can't, as a barber, father, I can't just go home and kick off my shoes and watch a movie. There's always something that I gotta do, whether it is helping little kids in the community or being a minister. I'm also a minister, just doing that. So much is given, much required. I got a lot on my plate because God gave me a lot of things to do. I'm not that type that just can sit back and just take it easy. You would never catch me in slides, because I think, look at a man who wears slides, he relaxed. I don't relax till it's time to go to bed, so that's how I able to balance that stuff.
How long did it take how long do you think it took you to master your craft with being in the ministry and being a barber and plus being a family? How long do you feel like it took you till you finally, or it clicked to you, okay, now I'm really a great barber?
Well, when I go to work and I see 15, 20 people waiting on me, I'm the only one cutting hair, and they were waiting, so I knew then that I was a master at barber, and not so much of saying that I'm the best barber there is. It's like what they get out of me and what they get from me is a good man. I try to be not only a good man, but I try to be a great man. So doing that and knowing how to balance it, and when it comes to the ministry, that's something that's been in me since I was a little kid. And that's what this baseball program that we're celebrating, it's another ministry for me.
When did you get the idea about the Little League? Was it something that started last year, or was it something that was kind of like brewing over the years and time again, that you kept hearing things about it that you really wanted to do, but you felt like it wasn't time? So when did you say, okay, now it's time to start Little League?
It started all back in, I think it was 2007, when we had some little kids who played a different league here in Union County. They won the World Series. And they came into my barbershop, Martis barbershop, I was working at Martis Keenan. They came in the barbershop, and one of the little guys was a pitcher, great pitcher. And he got in my chair, and he said, TJ, we won the World Series, but we're not on TV, we're not. That didn't even put us in the newspaper. He said, what's the difference? Why? I said, buddy, you play a different, baseball program you at. What you're looking at on TV is Little League. People call them all Little Leagues because they're little children, but that is actually an organization called Little League. And when you see people say, well, I've been playing Little League baseball my whole life, but no, it's like Walmart, and then you got a store we used to call Drug Mart. But Little League is its own trade program, and that little kid didn't play Little League, and he was able, and he had that talent. These little kids beat the 13 states that they played, but he just had that question mark. What if I was able to play the Little League that's on TV? And then that didn't do it for me, but that clicked. But really what clicked with me is I got involved with some other baseball leagues, and some of the way that the program is ran, made me research other programs.
Right.
And when I found out about Little League and the people up in Pennsylvania who actually run Little League, allowed me to charter a league, and that what made me last year is when I really got the ball rolling. But this has been going on in my mind probably 10 years better.
And I know it's nothing that we can do about it now, but what the kids in the past, they're all growing up now, there's nothing we can do to change the past. But do you feel like from the past that we kind of shortchanged the kids in our community because they didn't have this opportunity that we have now?
Good question. Of course it did, because like those little kids on that team, when that little guy, I can say his name because me and him friend, his name's Keaston. When Keaston said, TJ, why come I'm a great pitcher, but I want to play. And I felt that we hurt that kid because he said out of his whole team, it's like 12, 13 guys on the team. He was the only one that was able to advance, and he said, I didn't even advance through Little League, from my baseball program, I advanced because high school, and then I look at a little girl called Monet Davis. She's pitched for Little League.
Big time.
Yeah, like 12 years old. And then I remember a little guy by the name of Danny. He was a little pitcher, 12 years old, and he got picked up by the Yankees at 12, So I think we really did hurt the children by allowing them to play baseball, but not master their craft like you say I am with being a barber. Some kids like baseball for a little time, and some like it their whole career. And in Union County here, we got a lot of kids who played ball in the 80s when they played with the other leagues. Now they on drugs. They doing all kinds of stuff and I wonder myself, I said, is that because they didn't get to do what they had in their heart to do? Did they not get to show the world who they were? I got a coach on my staff. A board member on my staff. He got a lot of boys that coached a lot of championship teams, and a lot of them now. He wondered what happened if they would have been able to play Little League and got seen able to go play baseball. So it definitely hurt us.
And I know we can't pinpoint what the issue was, and we'll never know for certain. But what do you think kept this from happening 10 years ago? Like, why didn't we do it 10 years ago? What do you think the issue would hold it?
I think some of the coaches who coached in other leagues before, I think they asked, about becoming a Little League, and they would say, well, the price is too much. They was told that it's $150 a kid to play Little League. And I called and I talked to these people, and I'm like, that can't be true. So I'm like, why would a person not want a program such as Little League to at least be an option? I'm not saying that every kid got to play Little League, but at least have an option,
And when you finally say, okay, now it's time for me to really do it, who's the first person that you reached out to and said, okay, this is time to put this in motion? Who's that first person? Or first few people that you talked to?
First of all, my wife first, she, like I said, she's my other half, I talked to her and then I talked to my brother, but a lot of it I moved in silence. I didn't tell nobody. I called Williamsport and I talked to Aaron Weber, Sam Rank, the guys who actually in charge of the starting the development of a new program. But in this town here, I had to move in silence. I couldn't just put it out there because if I would have go out there and just said I was going to start a Little League, it would have got shut down for a certain reason. I don't want to say what, but it would have got shut down. So I had to move in silence.
And as a barber, and in this town, everybody knows everybody. And, you went on to start your own barbershop. But around this area, were other barbers supportive of what you were doing? Did they even know about it, and were they supportive of this league now?
Midas Keenan was a great mentor to me in helping me start and honing my skills to be able to work in the community. So he didn't directly help me with starting Little League, but he just helped me being a community man. And I have people like Miss Huey. She was a teacher, and Miss Huey, she put me into mentoring at school. And I started mentoring at Sims. And the little kids now, It was Mr. Huey, it was, like I said, Mr. Keenan. They just taught me to be mentors, and that kind of helped push me to do things for the community.
Couple more questions, and then we'll get to how we'll start discussing a little league. Now, with this league, though, can you tell the people what your position will be in this league?
In this league here, I'm the president of the board.
Okay.
You know, we have a board, Little League has a board of members, and I'm the president. And my job is just to make sure all these little, not little, I mean to say, but all of these other positions, definitely didn't mean to say little, because none of them little, but you have you have a coaching coordinator, you have an umpiring chief, you have somebody's over advertising, and each one of those have, sub people that can help you out in that. And mine is to kind of just make sure the whole program is being ran. But the way Little League is set up is that you have numbers of people helping. So if one person falls, somebody else can step in.
Okay. And as like I said earlier, as a father, a husband, a barber in the ministry, how hands-on will you be personally with the league with so much on your plate?
Well, like I said, I'm the type of person that can't sit still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first day I got off this year was the day after Christmas. And, as soon as I supposed to get off and just sit back and relax, I was outside rigging the yard. I could have easily I gotta be doing something.
Right.
So I'm definitely gonna be in it because my mind runs like a clock all the time. It's always thinking. I think in my sleep. I just do that. That's just who I am. And so I'm definitely gonna be hands-on, be at the games. I can't coach no more. I hate that. I can't be a coach, but I can kind of help this program to be smooth.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a quick break real quick, and what we'll do is we'll get more people who's helping with the Little League. We'll get those guys involved, and we'll ask any more questions. So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out on Facebook Live. We'll try to answer them. And if we have any that you asked already, we'll make sure we just keep on answering them all over and over if we have to, so there's no miscommunication. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back. This is Cross the Line Podcast.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Cross the Line Podcast. I'm back with a few of the members from the Little League for Union County. So start to my left, I want to let everybody state their name, what position they hold in the league.
I'm Walter Whitlock Sr., and I hold coaches coordinator, and I'm on the board of directors.
I'm Troy Bates, and I'm safety coordinator. Just make sure the kids are safe and playing out there, make sure the equipment is safe and stuff, and make sure to do the screening on the coaches and anybody that's volunteering in this league. And along with, he got the same position, I'm letting.
Jimmy Davis from safety. I'm Walter Whitlock Jr., I'm coach's coordinator.
Kelly Tucker. Kelly Nicholas Batiste. Sorry.
And before I get to my next question, I just want to make sure that everybody who's tuning in live, if you have any questions, keep them coming. We'll answer them shortly. And so let's keep going. When TJ brought this to you guys' attention, I'll just let anybody who wants to answer. How did you feel when he said, okay, this is going to happen? How did you guys feel about the league?
I felt great about it, because we've been needing this year in Union for a long time, to give kids another opportunity. If they don't want to play Dixie Youth, play Little League. I think it's a great thing.
So can somebody tell me what is the difference between this Little League and other leagues that we've had in the past?
I think the major difference is the national recognition. I mean, you go into Little League, and if you go to All-Stars and go far enough, you can be on ESPN. Other leagues can't offer that. And it's to get kids, and the more they get recognized, scholarships and everything else follows to keep them out of the streets, things of that nature.
And how long will this league last? Is it like summertime, or how long was the duration?
So we have to be done playing by Memorial Day, I'm thinking. That's it, but by Memorial Day, we got to be, by June 1st, we got to be done
You ready
for regular season.
So get ready.
Get ready for All-Stars.
And where will the games be played?
Out here in Union County at Temple.
In Temple. So all the games will be in Temple?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to know, for me, I'm from Jonesville. I went there first before they consolidated us. Will the kids from Jonesville also be able to play in Union League?
Yes.
The entire Union County, from Lockhart to down on, towards Whitmire, all the way up past Bell, Jonesville, Cross Keys, all of those areas, you're able to play. The entire Union County, can't no one else come in out of Little League without permission from us, because the way that Little League program is set up, you got a district map, and our map covers the entire county of Union. So we want Lockhart, we want Jonesville, we want City of Union, Cross Keys, we want all of those places.
So, and with this league starting up, was it easy to get sponsors on board with what you guys knew was the start?
Yeah, we have sponsors coming in like crazy right now. Some of them we may have to even kind of turn back because we have so many people trying to sponsor them. We still got a few spots open, but as this thing, people realize that this thing is here to stay, we're gonna have many sponsors. And like me, I own a business myself. I was making sure I was the first one to get the sponsor team, because it was historic,
And people see something positive, they gon' sponsor. So by asking, was it hard? No, it's not hard to get sponsors, because you go to them and they know you. Like, I know a lot of people know me, and a lot of people know these board members right here. And we didn't have to ask but one time, and they were like, yes or no. And we haven't been turned down yet.
So let's get to something, a sensitive subject, that makes a lot of people draw the money. I just want to clear that out. Can y'all tell us the money for sponsorship, where does the money go?
Me. All right, here it is, sponsorship. Now, when a parent comes in, they pay their $50 registration fee, and 6 and under, they pay their $40 fee. Now, the way that we, in this board, like I said, I couldn't do nothing without this board. Terica and all these members you see up here, when we got that fee, we went to the places to make the uniforms, and we want that money that the parent pay for that registration fee, that's going for their child's uniform, where they won't have to go look for pants, they won't have to look for a belt. Most of these give you a hat and a shirt. We giving you a hat, shirt, pants, your belt. All you gotta do is get your kids gloves, and if you can't afford it, we can get that for you too. But the money, everybody on this board, from here to eternity, this is volunteer work. The money from the sponsors help buy the equipment that we need. The gate fee pays the umpires, the sponsorship money, and actually buy the equipment. And then, great about Little League is that if your town sends a kid to the World Series, all the money that you raise pay for that trip. And then Little League is so great that if we don't make it to the World Series and a team out of Spartanburg makes it, we send that money to Little League so they can pay. Little League got people coming from Japan. They got people coming from Puerto Rico. They got people coming from Ireland, playing ball. So the money that you help pay for Little League, it make sure that those kids get to go where, in the past, some leagues, you got to go do fundraisers, you got to raise money just to send your kids to the World Series. Not with Little League, that money is reimbursed back to the parents and the county for sending their kids to the World Series. So that's the biggest thing that people don't know. In the sense of the subject, like, oh, they trying to get our money. No. This money is to help clean up the community,
And when, so once they sign the kids up and pay the fee to have them on the team, that's all they have to pay. Everything else is taken care of.
When they pay that registration fee, that's it. We're not coming back saying, oh, we need $25 more for that. No, the only other thing that's out there that we don't want to get confused is we have a book, a commemorative book, because we're going to have a big opening celebration. It's going to be historic. So you can want to put your business in that book, or if a parent want to put their child in that book, it's like you can buy it from $25. You can put that, and that's going to help buy the equipment, because we knew we starting out and we have to we have to buy our equipment. We gotta make sure the kids are safe. You know, so that's what that does, pay for that.
And what all, for registration, can you tell them what all do the parents need to bring when they come for registration?
Terry, answer that question for me. Let them know it's you.
All right.
That's the
I'm gonna
secretary.
jump in here with y'all right quick. All right, if you are coming to registration, you bring your child's legal birth certificate. We can't accept the one with the feet on it from the hospital. We have to have their legal birth certificate. This is a Little League rule. Either the long one or the little small one. Also, we need to have, if your child does not go to school in Union County, that means they don't go to any of the elementary schools, any of the middle schools or the high school, then we need proof of residency. This could be your ID or anything like that. Because like I said earlier, just because a child doesn't go to school in Union County or they don't actually live in Union County, if they have at least one parent or court-appointed guardian living in Union County, they can play Little League.
And I know, correct me if I'm wrong, they can come sign up today if they want to for registration, or is that?
We're gonna be here about another 20 or 30 minutes. They could come in today. If they want to come on right now, you can come, you know, and register your child. Now, if you don't want to come and get in the line tomorrow.
Okay. And if not today, you said tomorrow, how long do they have for registration?
Our registration, it's gonna be held every Saturday and Sunday until February the 1st, and also on Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays and Fridays, we'll be here at the Rec from 5 to 7, and on Saturdays, we'll be at Timpkin Sport Complex from 10 to 2, and on Sundays, we'll be at Timpkin from 2 to 4. So come on out and register with us.
Okay, let's take a quick second to, if we have any Facebook Live questions, can we go ahead and answer those questions? Are there any we have? Let's just check.
All right, one thing I wanted to address with everybody was a rumor about the bases and
Yes.
fields and stuff like that. All right, based on Little League rules, we will be playing regular bases. Our 11 and 12-year-olds, that's our Little League intermediate. They'll be playing 60-foot diamond with 46-foot pitching. 13 and 14-year-olds on up, they'll be playing 90 feet and 60 feet and 6 inches. Okay? So our bases are gonna be the same as all other leagues.
And they're gonna be in Timpkin.
And it's gonna be at Timpkin. So
I don't know what
if you've heard something different about our bases not being the same, not being able to steal bases, actually our 11 and 12-year-olds are gonna be stealing bases. So they're gonna be playing just like all of the other leagues are.
Are there any other Facebook Live questions that we have?
Any questions?
Do y'all see any?
I had a question, how about homeschool?
I answered that
Yeah,
question
answer
about
that.
homeschool. If you live in Union County, you homeschool, come on out.
Come on, bring your child out to play ball, because Union County in itself, this small county, I think I read in the paper that we send more people, Mr. Smith, we send more people to jail than anybody. And that's where the barbershops come in and the churches and stuff, they kind of fail us, you know. We got this small county, the police is doing such a great job trying to get stuff going on, but some things we gotta do is, it takes a village to raise a child, you know. So if we, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because little kids who now are 6 years old, 7 years old, we're trying to put them into Little League, because Little League is not just a baseball program. Little League used the baseball field to make a classroom. when I grew up, little Walker with my brother, we went to Fox Park, we shot basketball. You know, people say, well, children ain't got nothing to do. All we needed was a hoop. We needed a baseball. We used a tennis ball to play baseball. So who TJ is and what we're trying to do and the reason why I got this board is because if we can take these children now and put them into sports and teach,
Hold on, you can answer that question.
put them in sports. You know I got ADD. You say I'm gonna stop. You can't talk. So in baseball and doing this right here, what I mean is that if we can help these little children, because whether it affects you or not, a criminal don't care who he robbed. You know, a crook don't care what he steals. So we can take these little kids at 7 and 8 years old and teach them how to be law-abiding citizens, because that's in the Little League pledge. I will play fair. I will do my best. I will try my hardest, win or lose, no matter what. I'm gonna respect and play the game. And you also teach them to be a law-abiding citizen. That's why I went with this program, because we just don't want your fees and then forget about you. We're gonna try to do things with these kids all year long. We're gonna go to the schools and talk to these kids and help these kids that whether you face them here now or later, if they're 8 now, 10 years, they're gonna be 18. So you want an 8-year-old kid to be a kid that was grounded and taught how to play the sport and how to let that be a classroom, you know, or let them end up going that wrong path. You know, can't everybody afford to go play travel ball? Can't everybody afford to, you know, go to college? But we can take these children and show them care and concern young, and when they get 13 and 14 years old and 15, maybe they be better people. That's why I'm doing this. You know, I'm a minister, and I do my ministry outside, you know, outside of just the church. I do it behind my barber's chair, and I'm doing it now in a bigger fashion, so I can this is a way that I can reach more people to help them do better things.
Let's Facebook Live question.
Yes. Serena Tucker asks, can I sign my daughter up even though she don't turn 4 until March 17th?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't have my calendar, but if you look on the Union County Little League calendar, on the Facebook page, it has the calendar on there. So you just basically go by what year your child was born and go to the month, and it'll tell you what age they are. Now we are working with the National Little League to try to get 3-year-olds chartered in. We have to get it approved through Little League just because Little League start the age at 4. But once we can get that approved, we'll start taking them at 3.
And think about that little 4-year-old program and the 3-year-old program. It's a 10-week program with Little League. We're not just letting your child get out there and just, you know, don't know what they're doing. You teach them that 10-week program that when you sign up for T-ball, it's a 10-week program that's going to teach your child the fundamentals of the game. It's going to teach them, you know, from 4 years old, they're going to learn by the time they get 7 and 8, they're ready, you know, to go out there and play the hard.
Okay, one of our board members, he answered the question and told her, yes, you can sign up. And that's Jawan Rice. You gonna tell what his job is?
Alright, Jawan is our player agent. He couldn't be here today because he had to work. But he is basically in charge of making sure the games are scheduled, getting the draft day started. Jawan carries a lot of titles that he has to do, just a part of getting everything scheduled as far as the kids playing ball.
And marketing?
And marketing.
And the draft.
And the draft.
And yeah, and the thing was
That's
said
the one
about the
who's
draft.
running the page right there, Union County Little League, that's on there now, y'all. Jawan Rice, he's up under there.
In the draft, we offering a clinic. The high school is offering a clinic, February the 9th. Our 7, 12-year-olds gonna be out there on the 9th. We're gonna put our numbers on it. So when they out there running drills with the high school coach, well, when they out there running with the high school doing the drills, he's gonna set them up to be able to. The coaches will be able to pick their team.
Any other Facebook Live questions? If not, I have some.
Go ahead, I don't see no questions.
All right, let's one of my questions, another question I had was for coaches. Are we still searching for coaches for the Little League? Or do we have enough?
Anybody want to coach, come on out, we still accepting volunteer forms. Anybody want to sponsor, we still got some spaces available, because even if you don't sponsor a team, you can buy an ad in our book. We have different prices for the ads, we have different sponsorship. So if you want to support that way, you can.
What's the criteria to become a coach? Is there anything that they have to have, or what do they need to do if they want to be a coach?
Well, they need to, first of all, have to pass the background check. I mean, that's number one. And number two, they need to have a little baseball knowledge. I mean, you don't want a coach out there, if you're paying for your kid to play baseball, you want them to learn baseball. So you don't want a kid out there playing with a coach that don't know anything. I've seen that happen a lot in the past, and parents get upset. So we'll be sure that the coaches have some baseball knowledge.
That's just where you want to just have, God, well, my child will be playing, I want to be my child's coach.
Yeah.
You got that going on years and years. We want people that have baseball knowledge. Because you got a chance to teach a kid a sport that he may love, and if he decides he want to go into this intensively, like if he or she decides, hey, look, I want to go to college doing this, or if they just want to do it as recreation, either way, they're going to have fun.
But what you're saying is you don't have to have a child to be able to be a coach.
No, you can be a father and be a coach, but you don't have to have a child to be a coach. But we don't
Just
do
let you
daddy
know.
ball.
Right.
Was there any pushback that anybody here faced, like, for any reason about starting the league and getting into the league? Was there any kind of pushback?
We gonna stay positive. Well, yeah, we had some pushback, but if a person realized what Little League was and what Little League offers, that stamp, Little League, you can go to Walmart and Walmart can fund Little League. Easton funds Little League, Dick's Sporting Goods funds Little League, because Little League don't have that bad stigma that some other places have. Little League is a nationally accredited baseball program throughout the world, not just the South or not just the North. It's worldwide.
Was there any rumors or any kind of miscommunication? We don't have to say any names at all, no names, but if it's something that you want to address about, maybe something that you heard that wasn't true, is there anything that you guys want to clear up?
Yeah, let us clear up the fact that Little League don't cost $150 a child. That's one of the first rumors. Then it went from $150 a child to $250 a child. It don't cost that. Little League strives on the fact that they allow children to play for less than $2 a kid. So there's no, so with those rumors, we won't be playing at Timken. We don't know nothing about baseball. We're up under the guidelines of Little League. And those people up in Little League are not going to let us tarnish their name, and we're not going to tarnish our own name. A good name is worth more than gold. And I'm not going to mess my name up. That's why I carefully selected the board members, because every last person that I helped get on this board, I personally knew them or knew of them, just the fact to make sure that they was people that cared about kids. And we care about kids, even though people say we in it for this or that. We're doing it for the kids.
Is there any other Facebook Live questions at the moment?
Yeah, I have a question on Leroy New. He has any board members coaching?
No, well, certain board members can coach with Little League's rule. Like me, I can't coach being the president, but a coaching coordinator can coach as long as he's not the only coaching coordinator. So some board members can coach, but the way the board is set up, you don't have to worry about that favoritism or none of that, especially by us just starting out. We have to get the coaches that we know the knowledge of the game. And no matter what board you've been on, at one point in time, I guarantee you, whoever the board member was in any league, at one time they was a coach. So they can't say, well, you shouldn't be coaching, you on the board. Little League rules are that if you don't hold a single position by yourself, you can be a coach. And I got that from Miss Terrell, I read the whole rule book, lady. She read the whole rule book, y'all. So you want to know something, you can ask her. She not, if I say something wrong, she can correct me, but, yeah.
Any other Facebook Live questions? Okay. One of the things I want to know about, I remember seeing, posts in the past with some of the people I went to school with, they would say things about how their children didn't get a chance to go to an All-Star game. They felt like they got snubbed. Can you talk about how the All-Star game, or do you have anything about that yet about how they do the All-Star game?
How we'll do the All-Star game is in all laws, bylaws, all board. Yeah, let Terry take that.
The way our board has decided that we're gonna select all-stars is, like he said earlier, we don't believe in daddy ball. So we don't believe in just because you're a coach, your child make all-stars. We going strictly by the books. So whenever we make the all-star selection, then we will have 2 sets of books. The coaches will keep a book and we'll have an official book. Basically, when we go through the book, we're going through as a board seeing who is the best. Because, like, for example, one all-star game starts July the 15th, and it's in Pennsylvania. Another one is July the 28th, and it's in California. So if we get a chance to send our kids there, we want to send the best. We don't want to send somebody just because their daddy helped, their daddy was a coach. No, we want to send the best. So the way we're going to select the All-Stars is the board is going to nominate 15 players. These are going to be the top 15 players based on books. And once we get those 15 players, the coaches within that league will pick who they feel is the best 12. And those 12 players will be sent to All-Stars.
And the other three will be
And the other 3 will be alternates, and we won't identify the alternates unless one of those 12 can't play.
And I just wanted to ask that question because a lot of times they felt like their kids, because politics played a role, whether it was family members or it was, like you said, a coach's child. So I just wanted to ask that question, how would we go about doing the select for the All-Star? So that means that there will be 15 children, so somebody, at least somebody's going to the All-Star. And they'll go on and play and,
Like basically what it is, we have to basically play in a district. Then we play and work our way up to the World Series. I mean, even if we go to the district, that will be a step forward for us because nobody in Union County has ever been to the Little League district. So our main goal is to make it to the World Series, but even if we don't our first year, that just gives us something to strive harder for the next year.
Because we're not going anywhere.
How young are the All-Stars?
Our All-Stars start at our 9 and 10-year-old. The reason we had to set our age limits up the way that we did is so that we can make sure that our 9-year-olds have an opportunity to make All-Stars. Our machine pitch, coach pitch, and T-ball, we're going to try to, as a board, develop a different type of All-Star for them within Union County. But for the National All-Stars, our majors, intermediate, junior, and senior league can make it to the National All-Stars.
And the thing about it with the All-Stars, even though you have an opportunity to you win the state, you go to the district. You know, if you win the state, and in South Carolina, you only have a few counties that have Little League. So if you win the state, just like we did, we just went to the state, upper state in football. If you put the right 12 together, you can easily win the state. And if you win the state, you're in the district. You know, you win in the Southeastern regional. You made the Southeastern regional was against Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. And once you make that, you get looked at. You know, your child is playing baseball for something. You know, they get there. And we had a little kid from Union County himself. He went to Sissonville. This little kid went to the World Series and knocked the longest home run. And I'm not going to call his name because he's underage. But that little kid was from this town. But he did not play in this town because his parents moved to a town that offered Little League. Another reason why we're doing this is to help keep our kids in our county. where you don't have to go to Greenville or Centerville. You can play here and have something to play for. And be real about it. When it comes to softball, you get better looks playing with Little League softball than you do at your high school level. You know, personally, if my child was playing in softball, I'd rather her go to the Little League state than she would the state in high school, because people turn and tune into those girls. And coaches, if we looking at them, what you think coaches doing? You know,
Is this kind of like a 1-year experiment to see how it goes, or is the Little League here to stay?
it's here. All this hard work we put in, we gave the county what they asked for. We just asked that they come and support it. We're here to stay. We're not going nowhere. We're here to stay. Little League is growing. It's not getting smaller, you know. And actually, it started in the, Little League was here in the South in the beginning, but then this certain team called Cannon Street All-Stars. They was in Little League, but this certain team didn't want to play Cannon Street. Cannon Street was from Charleston. They wanted to go to Pennsylvania for the championship game, but they said, we're not going to play that team due to their race. So what happened was the other league said, we're going to pull all our kids out, but we don't want to compete against them, and that's what happened to these other leagues. That's how these other leagues got established. But we're going back to where it began. That same little Cannon Street team came from South Carolina. And boy, I tell you, with these coaches we got coming up and these kids in this town, we're gonna make up for them by going there. It don't care who you are. If your child is the best, it deserves to have that fair chance. And that's all we're trying to do.
And when you say they have a fair chance, sometimes parents have an issue with playing time and things like that. If the parents have an issue with a team or coach, who do they come to talk? Or they?
All right. The way that we did, because that was something that we wanted to make sure that we offered. So as a board, we discussed it. So if you have a problem with your child's coach, with something that's going on the field, something you want to address, you can let any of the board members know. And we have to give you a meeting with the board within, I think we said, 5 days. 5 business days. So you will meet the person that you have in conflict with, the board, everybody will come together so that we can just handle the situation as adults and not be bashing each other back and forth, because that's something Little League is not about. We're not going back and forth with the bashing. We don't want no negativity. So we want to come together as adults just to make it better for the kids.
Will there be any more ways down the line, if it's maybe in the middle of the season, the parents like what they're seeing, is there any ways that they can get involved with the league?
Once we finish our registration, we'll have a couple of weeks of late registration, but once our games start, it's gonna be done with registration. Reason being, our kids have to play in 60% of the games in order to make it to the All-Stars. So we don't want nobody to be held back because they weren't able to be at the game. Also, when you sign your child up, we are doing a draft. So it's no, I want to be on this person's team, I want to be on that person's team. We're doing a draft. Everyone will do a draft except for our T-ball, machine pitch, and coach pitch. Reason being, their teams are disbanded at the end of each season, which means if you play machine pitch, T-ball, or coach pitch, at the end of the season, the next season, you may go to a different team. But our older kids, they can stay in their age group as long as they're within that age group. So, once they're on that team, in order to come off the team, you will have to go back into the draft the next year.
And if you sign up, and once you register, are you able to play in any other league, or is it strictly Little League baseball?
It's Little League baseball.
Okay, so I know some, like we said, the travel ball and all that, can you?
And the reason, well, you can play travel ball. The reason is, the other thing is, our kids that play middle school, high school, they have a late start date. Reason being, South Carolina High School League rule is they can't play 2 games, be involved in 2 games. So therefore, we'll start their season a little bit later. But if you play travel ball, as long as whatever's going on does not interfere with you playing Little League as far as the pitching rules go, we're not trying to hold nobody up from doing anything.
And like you said, if your kid at the high school, they play for the high school, they can sign up and they can come to practice, but high school rules won't allow them to play. Just want to clear that up. High school will not allow them to play at Little League, but they still can come and practice. They can't play in the game. And as soon as their high school season over, they can get right in there and keep playing, you know. And you know, somebody might say, well, I don't think that's fair that that child, at the end of the day, what happens and what have happened to other leagues is people put kids in positions they don't need to be in. And if you take a little child and throw them on an all-star team, and you got 20 other kids out there who know that they're a little bit better ball player or a lot better ball player, you hurt that kid that you put in there because it's going to show up. When he go to the all-star game, he get up there and he can't do nothing because he or she has been put in a position. You won't put me on a tightrope and let me tightrope. I never did that before. So you got a kid out there playing baseball, but you got another kid out here who's a better athlete and a better baseball player. Let that child play that and let him learn from that kid. Let him learn from that other kid to work harder and be better. But you can hurt a child by putting a child that don't deserve to be on an all-star team, for a skill. Put him out there with kids, it's gonna show up. You know, and with a Little League, you see these children, they're great ball players. So we're gonna have to put our great ball players out there also.
And I think if you put the kids out there too early and they're not ready, it'll kind of reflect back on the county and make us look bad. Like, we're not ready, we're not up to par with these other towns because we put them in position just because, you know, like I said earlier, politics or whatever played a role in the past. So I think that is important. But I just want to make sure, is there any more questions on Facebook Live that we need to answer or anything before we wrap it up?
I got one, but she answered this question, but Alexis Jennings said, will all ages have a all-star team or just 9-year-olds and up?
Going back to that, the 9 and up is the National Little League, but the other ones, we will have like something within the county so that they can make all-stars. And then we can try, what we can do is try to work with other counties who have a Little League, because their younger groups may not have an all-stars either, so they may want the opportunity. So that's something that we are gonna work on to try to provide all-stars for all the kids.
And before we get out of here, can we just let everybody know about registration again, the registration days? Before we leave, just to make sure it's clear for everybody so they know.
Alright. Alright, registration starts tomorrow, 10 to 2 here at Temkin Sports Complex. We'll be there on Saturdays from 10 to 2. Sundays we'll be at Temkin from 2 to 4. And we'll be at the Recreation Department on Thursdays and Fridays from 5 to 7. Also, keep in mind, we do have a change. Our senior league is for kids ages 15 to 16. So if you were born before December 2002, you are eligible to play Little League. Also, sponsorship. If you want to get an ad in our book that we will be having available on opening day, because we're trying to make this the biggest opening day ever, because it's the first one. So if you want to get a book, if you want to get an ad, either for your business, for your child, we'll have the forms available tomorrow or any other day at registration. And again, this is how we are going to supply our kids' needs as far as equipment and everything like that through sponsorship.
And is opening day is they still up in the air, or is it like a set day yet, March 23rd?
Opening day will be March the 23rd.
And we will have a derby the night before.
Yeah. So we're planning different things for them that Friday night, just to get them all in the baseball mood, just to set the season off right.
Is there anything else that we need to clear before we wrap it up? Do we have anything else?
I just want to thank my amazing board this board, they got together and they doing what they need to do. And, I just want to personally thank each and every one of them. I want to thank my Miss Rule Book over here, so if I got a question, I know exactly who to go to. I just want to thank everybody. I just want to say that, you know. And we're out here not to get rid of another league. We're out here to offer kids an opportunity to play. If they want to go into that championship, like those little kids that I told you, who I wanted to get with them and kind of put them in a Hall of Fame, because we don't have a history. We're gonna have a Hall of Fame, and that team that sat in my barbershop chair that day and said, why are we not on TV? And that kid had all his mom and dad did, and their mom and dad, they were signing them up for baseball. They didn't know what they was getting to. They see Little League on TV, they thinking that that's what they play. But now they can play that. The official, not to be confused, Little League. This is just the Union County division. South Carolina, we have a Union County, North Carolina, they have a Little League too. But this Union County, South Carolina. You see the logo, that's us.
And I want to thank everybody again. I appreciate all of you guys for chipping in and volunteering to make such an impact in our community, because we really do need it. And I hope this was helpful for everybody. So if you have any more questions, like we said, this is here for the long run, so you'll be able to find anybody here and ask questions, and we'll be here. And I hope this was helpful. Once again, this is the Crossfire Podcast. Keep chasing dreams. Thank you for listening.